Very good morning today. Today we are going to discuss the next topic in the fifth unit, which is addresses in the target code. And in the following slide, we are going to discuss about the DAG representation. DAG is nothing but directed acyclic graph representation. So these two topics we are going to discuss for today's class. First, addresses in the target code. So the addresses in the target code will be a statically determined area code, a statically determined data area static, a dynamically managed area heap, a dynamically managed area stack. So these are the four types of addresses in the target code. 3 address statements for procedure calls and returns. So in the previous class we have discussed about 3 address statement, how to represent the 3 address statement and how to construct the assembly language code for 3 address statement. Now we are going to see 3 address statements for procedure calls and returns. So in procedure calls and returns we have 4 things. First is call callee, second return, third halt, and fourth is the action to be performed. Target program for a sample call and return. See, code for C, which is a procedure, code for C means C is a procedure here. Action 1 means procedure call starting. Call P, from the procedure C, calling another procedure P. Action 2 and again halt. Next is the code for procedure P, where action 3 is there and the return statement is there. This is the target program for sample call and return. And see this, here the target program is given 100, 120, 132, 140. These are the addresses where the instructions are stored. So in 100 we have action 1, which is the code for action 1, which is the procedure for C, and ST364 hash 140 is nothing but save return address 140 in the location 364. That is the meaning. BR200 means just call the procedure P, because that procedure P is located in the address 200. Then action 2, then halt means return to the operating system, and next is the code for procedure P, where action 3 is there and BR364 star 364 is there, which is nothing but the meaning of return to address saved in location 364. And the addresses 300 to 363 hold activation record for the procedure C. So 300 is the return address, 304 is the local data for C. So from 304 the local data for the procedure C are stored, and 364 to 451 addresses hold activation record for the procedure P, and 364 is the return address and 368 is the local data for P, procedure P. Stack allocation, here how the stack is allocated. LD, that means load instruction. SP means stack pointer. Stack start, so it is initialized. The stack pointer is initialized to the starting of the stack. This is nothing but initializing the stack. Then code for the first procedure, then halt, add sp hash caller dot record size. That is, this instruction is for incrementing the stack pointer, and next instruction is st star sp hash here, that is current address plus 16, that is for saving the return address, And next statement is br callee dot core area. Here what will happen, it will return to the caller, branch to called procedure. So return to caller in callee, the instruction to be performed is br star 0 of sp. In caller, this instruction will be executed, that is subtract sub sp comma hash caller dot record size. Target code for stack allocation. So code for m, code for the procedure m, and we have code for procedure p, and we have code for procedure q. So these are the assembly language instructions for the target code. Now basic blocks and flow graphs. Partition the intermediate code into basic blocks. So we need to partition the intermediate code into basic blocks, where the flow of control can only enter the basic block through the first instruction in the block. That is, there are no jumps into the middle of the block. Control will leave the block without halting or branching except possibly at the last instruction in the block. The basic blocks become the nodes of a flow graph. So the basic blocks will become the nodes of the flow graph. Rules for finding the leaders. The first 3 address instruction in the intermediate code is a leader. So the first 3 address instruction in the intermediate code is the leader. It can be the leader. Any instruction that is the target of a conditional or unconditional jump can also be a leader. Any instruction that immediately follows a conditional or unconditional jump can also be a leader. So these are the 3 rules for finding the leaders for drawing the flow graph. So intermediate code to set a 10 by 10 matrix to an identity matrix. So this is the intermediate code. We have 17 steps here. So starting from first step, I is equal to 1, j is equal to 1, t1 is equal to 10 star I, like that we have 17 steps. This is the intermediate code to set the 10 by 10 matrix to an identity matrix. That 10 by 10 matrix will be converted to identity matrix, that is the matrix having all the values are 1. So this is the low level, high level language for let us take the C program for converting the 10 by 10 matrix to an identity matrix. For I is equal, for I from 1 to 10 do, for j from 1 to 10 do, because 10 by 10 matrix, that is why 1 to 2, 1 to 10. A of I comma j equal to 0.0. Initially the matrix values were initialized as 0. Then for converting the identity matrix, for I from 1 to 10 do A of I comma I equal to 1.0. So A of I comma I will be assigned to 1. This is called identity matrix. Then flow graph based on basic blocks. This is the flow graph for the previous intermediate code. First is the entry, then I is equal to 1 is the block 1, j is equal to 1 is block 2, and t1, t2, t3, t4, and j is equal to j plus 1, and if j is less than or equal to 10, go to b3. So this is the block 3, and block B4 contains I is equal to I plus 1. If I is less than or equal to 10, go to B2. So these two statements are in block 4. And B5, the block 5 contains I is equal to 1, and B6 contains T5 is equal to I minus 1, T6 is equal to 88 star T5, A of T6 equal to 1.0, I is equal to I plus 1. If I is less than or equal to 10, go to block 6. So these 5 statements are in the block B6. Then finally exit. See, from block 3 B3, again the control is transferred to the block 3. Since go to B3 is there, again the control will be transferred to the B3 block itself. And from block 4, the control will be transferred to the block 2. That is why arrow is given from B4 to B2. And if you take B6, in B6, if I is less than or equal to 10, go to B6. So this block transfer the control to itself. So that is why the direction is given like that. So this is the flow graph for basic block for the previous program. Liveness and next use information. We wish to determine for each 3 address statement x is equal to y plus z what the next uses of x, y and z are. Algorithm: attach to statement I the information currently found in the symbol table regarding the next use and liveness of x, y and z. In the symbol table, set x to not live and no next use. In the symbol table, set y and z to live and the next uses of y and 0 to I value. And next topic is the DAG representation of basic blocks. DAG is nothing but directed acyclic graph. There is a node in the DAG for each of the initial values of the variables appearing in the basic block. There is a node n, capital N, associated with each statement S within the block. The children of the node n are those nodes corresponding to statements that are the last definitions prior to the statement S of the operands used by the statement S. Then next, node n is labeled by the operator applied at the statement S and also attached to the node n. N is the list of variables for which it is the last definition within the block. Certain nodes are designated output node. Certain nodes are designated as output nodes. These are the nodes whose variables are live on exit from the block. Code improving transformations. So in order to improve the code, what should be done? Some transformations to be done. What are that? We can eliminate local common sub-expressions, that is, instructions that compute a value that has already been computed. Second, we can eliminate dead code. If there is any dead code in the program, that can be eliminated. Dead code, that is, instructions that compute a value that is never used, that is called dead code. We can reorder statements that do not depend on one another. Such reordering may reduce the time a temporary value needs to be preserved in a register. And finally, we can apply algebraic laws to reorder operands of 3 address instructions and sometimes thereby simply the computation. DAG for basic block. See, A is equal to B plus C, B is equal to A minus D, C is equal to B plus C, D is equal to A minus D. So there are 4 3 address instructions here, 3 address statements here, and for that the directed acyclic graph will be like this. We have to traverse from bottom, B0 plus B0 C0, that is B plus C, which results A. So A equal to B plus C is drawn, and then B is equal to A minus D. So B is equal to A minus D, go upper, so minus symbol is there, A minus D will be B, and C is equal to B plus C, so go upper, C is equal to B plus C, for that also the graph is drawn, and D is equal to A minus D, for that also, for the last 3 address also the graph is drawn like this. DAG for basic block. So again the same 4 3 address instructions. B0, see the C, B0 C0 will be A, and B contains B0 and D0, C contains C0 and D0, and E contains B and C.